Everybody, happy Thursday. So we're nearly at the end of the week now. I hope you've had a great week and I hope you have been working hard. I'm sure that you have, and I'm sure that your class teachers and your TAs have been very, very impressed with you. So well done to all of you. So here we are, it's Thursday morning and it is our assembly time. So this week's theme is all about trust. Okay. So what we're going to do to start our assembly this morning is I'm going to ask you to watch a short snippet of Finding Nemo. And as you're watching it, I want you to be having a think about how is it conveying the theme of trust. Okay, so what is it within this clip or within what you know about the film of Finding Nemo that it links to our theme of trust? Okay, so I'm just going to pop it on for you. And I want to have a listen to this video, okay, and think about the theme of trust. Okay, so let's have a think about how does Finding Nemo convey the idea of trust? Okay, I want to think if you can have a think about how it conveys the idea of trust. Okay, so let's think about how in the film. Okay, there are several themes running through the film, but the main theme is all about trust. Okay, so we've got Marlin, who is the clownfish, who is afraid of the ocean, okay, due to a previous terrible experience that he had. Okay, then there's his son Nemo, and he is taken by divers, and Marlin sets off on a mission to find his son and bring him home. On his journey, he meets Dory, okay, a little blue fish who has short-term memory loss. So that means she can't remember things. And Dory tags along, much to Marlin's dismay. So he doesn't really want Dory tagging along with him. However, they form a really, really close friendship during their journey. And Dory has little fear, whereas Marlin is full of fear, okay, and he struggles to accept what she says. And there are several times when Marlin fails to trust Dory, even though she's right. And in one instance, Dory has been told by a huge group of fish to swim along a trench, but don't swim over it. So she asks Marlin to trust her because that's what friends do. However, the route along the trench looks dark and frightening. So Marlin is reluctant to go that way. He's wondering, shall I trust her or not? And due to his fear, he convinces Dory to swim over the top. And they end up in a jellyfish bloom, a huge mass of jellyfish. And Dory very, very nearly loses her life, and she's left with scars from the encounter that she didn't really want to experience. And later, when Dory asks Marlin to trust her again, he starts to object, but sees the scars left from the jellyfish and realises that he has to trust her and that she is somebody that he needs to put his trust into along their journey. Okay, and I want you to think about now, why is it so difficult for some people to trust others? And why is it important for us to trust people? Okay, do we have to trust everybody, or do we trust just a select few? Okay, and if you can remember back to Tuesday, we did think about this and we talked about, or I shared with you, that in life we won't trust everybody because we can't trust everybody, unfortunately, and there will be a small selection of people who you really, really do trust. Okay. And some young children, so if you're a nursery and you're a reception, or maybe if you're when you're in year one, okay, and because you're so young and you've still got lots and lots and lots to learn, you might trust lots and lots of people, okay? And what we have to accept is that they accept that people are trustworthy until we learn otherwise, and that means that somebody does something which enables us to see that actually they're not that somebody who we can always rely on, not that somebody who we can talk to and they'll keep it to themselves, and they're not that somebody who you feel comfortable with. Okay, and in relationships sometimes trust can be lost, unfortunately, and that's because somebody has done something which shows that they're not trustworthy. So that might be they may have shared some information about you, they may have done something that's really, really upset you, and those people that we trust don't set out to upset us or hurt us. Okay. So what we have to think is often we learn not to trust somebody as a result of a bad experience, okay? And trust has to be earned and is the basis of every relationship. So there'll be trust in your household, there'll be trust in your classroom, there'll be trust with your friends and your teachers and those close people within your family. And as we start to trust people, okay, our relationship with them, our bond with them becomes really, really strong, and you become really, really closer to them as a friend to that person. Okay, and this is how we start to develop really, really strong relationships with people, because it's all based on trust. Okay, and trust isn't always just about friendships and isn't always just about your people that are who are around you. Okay, trust can also be in terms of putting the trust in the weather forecast. So each day we're told on the news or the weather forecast what the weather's going to be like, and we can sometimes put our trust in that maybe it is going to be a lovely day when actually it's not. It turns out to be a really, really horrible day with lots of rain and lots of grey cloud. So there's other things that we have to think about putting our trust into. Might even be putting our trust into sitting on a chair. Okay, so we might look at a chair and trust that that chair is going to be okay when we sit on it, and actually we could sit on it and end up flat on our backs and on our bottoms because it's broke. So there's lots of things that we have to put our trust into. And it's even things like, for example, if you're going to Alton Towers or you're going to a fairground, we're putting our trust on the rides that we go into, that they're going to keep us safe and that we're going to have a fabulous time. So there's lots of things that we can put our trust into as we go through life and through our everyday experiences. Okay, so and also you put your trust and your parents put their trust into your class teachers and your teaching assistants, that they're going to teach you the right things so that you can gain the knowledge and the skills that you need to really open your learning journey pathway, so that you've got the knowledge and the skills to keep building along your learning pathway right until where you want to get to. And as you know, we'll continually learn as we go through life, and we'll also continually learn about trust as we go through and as you get older as well. Okay, I want you to have a think about now, is think about yourself. So how do you know that you are a trustworthy person? What kinds of things do you do that show that you are a trustworthy person? And some of the things that might be is that you never set out to hurt people, you never set out to upset people. If somebody tells you something, that you'll keep that to yourself, or you'll keep it, and what you won't do is quickly go and tell lots of different people about what somebody has said to you. You're maybe a trustworthy person because you look out for people, and that's really important as well, and that you're always there for those people. Okay, so it's very, very important that we only know for sure if we can be trusted is if somebody puts their trust in you. And I'm sure there are people who do put their trust in you. Okay, it might even be so if you've got a younger brother or a younger sister, or your parents will put their trust into you as well as you get older. Okay, I want you to just think about this statement. Okay, would you give a 2-year-old something that's really, really precious to you and trust them not to break it? So would you give it to them and trust that they're not going to break it or not? Okay. And you're probably thinking that you probably wouldn't do that because the child may break it. But what they're not doing, they're not breaking that trust, okay? It's just simply because they don't understand yet, okay, how to deal with something which is precious to somebody else. They won't purposely break it, they might break it just on accident, and that doesn't affect the trust. It's because at the age of the person, we have to think about that when we're putting our trust into people as well. Okay, and most of us probably would trust our people in our family, our friends, people who are maybe the same age as us, people who are older than us, because they're more likely to take care of things which are precious to us, and also more likely to take care of us as a person as well. Okay, and something that we have to think up when we're thinking about people and trust is, do they really care about us? And do you really care about them as well? That's really important. It has to be a two-way relationship. So your class teacher and your teaching assistant really cares for you, okay, and they're there to look after you. They put their trust in you, okay, and I'm sure that's the same back. I'm sure you put your trust in your class teacher, okay, because they are somebody who is there to protect you and to keep you safe. So they are most definitely a trustworthy person. Okay, so to bring our assembly to a close today, okay, that as we go through life, there will be people who we can trust, and there will be people who we learn that we can't trust, and that's absolutely fine as well. Okay, and what you think is trust and what trust looks like may be very different to what somebody else looks like, okay, and it may be that your understanding and their understanding of trust is different, and that's okay too, because we've all got our own perceptions or outlooks and of how things are. Okay, And something that William Shakespeare wrote, okay, some of our children, older children, hopefully will know about William Shakespeare. His little phrase was, love all, but trust a few, okay? And many put their trust in God. Indeed, billions of people do so every single day. And this has been so for thousands of years. So a lot of people put their trust in God to look after us, to guide us in the right way and on the right path in our lives. Okay, so who will you trust? Who will you put your trust in today? So will it be, I'm sure most definitely will be your parent, your carer, your siblings in your household, your class teacher, your TA. Okay, and what we need to think about is that we have to take a leap of faith and trust that people are going to take care of us. They're going to respect us enough, okay, to look after us, okay, so that we can trust them. And it's the same for you as well. People have to take a leap of faith to trust you as well, okay? And it's only when things start to go wrong and that person maybe doesn't keep something to themselves or maybe does something which hurts you that trust starts to break down. Okay, so it's really important that we know what trustworthiness looks like, and that if we want to be a trustworthy person, we have to show those things in our behaviours as well. Okay, because it is important that we develop those really strong relationships with the people that we trust, and trust most definitely starts from your family. You will trust your family members and they will trust you. I'm sure you will trust your classmates, and I'm sure your classmates will trust you, as long as you don't do those things to each other that breaks down that trust. You'll also trust your class teacher, and your class teacher will definitely trust you. Okay, so as we go through life and as you start to become older, okay, that you will start to continue to learn about trust, and your friendship group and the people you come to meet, your trust in them will start to grow, and the number of people you trust may start to grow. Or as you get older, you may start to learn that actually it's better to trust just a small group of children. Okay, so we need to remember that all of our relationships work on trust, okay, being trustworthy ourselves, but also trusting others, okay, and we have to work hard to gain trust, but we have to work even harder to make sure that we show that we are a trustworthy person. Okay, so trust is a very, very important thing now, and it'll continue to be a very, very important thing as you grow older. Okay, so just a little prayer to finish our assembly for today. So, dear Lord, may we be as trustworthy towards others as we would like to be towards them, to be towards us. Amen. Okay, so thank you for our assembly this morning. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you continue to have a fantastic week, and look out for our shout outs tomorrow to see if you will appear in our shout outs for your fabulous work this week. Okay, and next week, children, you will not see me for your assemblies. Okay, you will see Miss Barlow and Mrs. Whitmore next week, because they're going to be leading our assemblies all to do with National Storytelling Week next week. Also next week is also Children's Mental Health Week, so you will have an extra assembly on Monday next week. We'll start kick-starting our week looking at your children's mental health and looking after our mental health as well. So we've got mental health and storytelling week next week, so we've got an exciting week ahead of us. Okay, everybody, I will see you soon. Take care, stay safe and be good. Bye, everybody.